Welcome to Arirang Live. It's after 2 p.m. here in Seoul, and I'm Kim Dami. In just a minute, we're going to cross over to the latest briefing from the South Korean health authorities on the COVID-19 outbreak. South Korea's daily number of COVID-19 cases has returned to the 50s after 8 days. The nation confirmed 51 new cases on Saturday, bringing the total amount to 11,719. Most cases are related to Richway, a door-to-door sales company, and a total of 34 people have been infected there. Over 70% of them are elderly. There were no new deaths, so the death toll remains at 273. 8 of the new 51 cases on Saturday are imported. Over 10,500 people have fully recovered and been sent home. South Korea's health authorities urged citizens once again to follow quarantine measures over the weekend, highlighting that's the way to protect the country. The briefing has just begun, so let's take a listen.
Let us now begin our regular briefing on the COVID-19 response here in the country. As of June 6th, Saturday, we have 51 new cases, and the total number of confirmed cases now stands at 11,719. And a total of 25 more people have been fully recovered, and a total of 89.9% have been discharged following full recovery, and a total of 915 people are in quarantine. There were no additional fatalities as of yesterday. We had 51 new cases yesterday, and 8 of them were imported cases from overseas, while the rest 43 were local transmissions. First, out of the 8 imported cases from overseas, 5 were from America, 2 from UAE, and 1 from Pakistan. And as of this morning at noon, and here are some updates on the domestic infections at the Kupang Logistics Center cluster in Bucheon City, Gyeonggi-do Province. We have 6 additional cases, and the total now stands at 130. And related to the newly planted churches in the Seoul metropolitan area, 4 new cases have been confirmed. A total of 80 cases have been confirmed to date. 31 people are the visitors to the church, and the rest are the contacts. And related to Richway in Gwanak-gu district, we have 13 new cases compared to yesterday, and a total of 42 patients have been confirmed. And we see that there could have been exposure of the virus through between 21st of May to June 3rd. So we advise you, if you have visited this building and Richway, we ask you to get tested regardless of your symptoms. And in relation to Seoul Yangcheon-gu ping pong club, we have 13 new cases, and also 13 new cases at the Yongin Big Tree Church, and we are doing the conducting of the epidemiological investigation and contact tracing. And we see that the increase of the cluster infections are being witnessed at small-sized religious facilities, as well as door-to-door sales company. And as for the religious facilities, we've done an inspection, and if the churches are at the basement floor, and they also had poor ventilations, which also exposed the virus spread. And they also had high activities of droplet infection, and also they did not abide by the quarantine guidelines, including wearing face masks and distancing. And as for the religious facilities, people gather and eat together, and they sing and chant, which also increases the risk of droplet infection. And we advise you to refrain from going to such small gatherings and switch to non-face-to-face contact. And if you have to have such an on-site service, we advise the facilities to reduce the number of participants to ensure that participants can maintain proper distance, check people for fever and other symptoms, and ensure hand washing and require mask wearing. And it was a similar case with the door-to-door sales company as well. Many of the people were clustered in a facility where the ventilation was poor, and they gathered together, they ate together, and they had also singing activities as well. And such environment increases the risk of droplet infection, so we ask you to refrain from engaging in such activities. And KCDC, we have currently seen an increase of cluster infections and sporadic infections whose sources of infections are unknown. And as we have an increase of the rate of infections among senior citizens over the age of 65, we are more concerned. And after early May, we have lost one life, and we have one person in a critical condition, and the number also is increasing. As for the senior citizens over the age of 65, we ask you to abide by the quarantine measures, including wearing of your face mask and washing of your hands and distancing, and please refrain from going to indoor closed spaces. And please do not visit places that are frequented by people, and if this is unavoidable, please wear your face masks at all times. This is the weekends, and today is the National Memorial Day, and tomorrow is also Sunday, during which we will have a lot of operations of the religious facilities. And I would like to thank the religious circles for your continued cooperation, and also continue to abide by such quarantine measures throughout tomorrow as well. And as for the religious facilities that have an enclosed facility and environment which could expose to the risk of infection, please be alert and please switch to non-face-to-face services. And as for those in the high-risk facilities, including senior citizens and those with chronic illnesses and pregnant women, we also advise you to join the worship services through online streaming. We are advising such recommendations to these facilities because, unlike the young people, they have a high risk of a fatality as well. So we need to protect the senior citizens as well as other people in the high risk group. And during the weekend, please continue to abide by your quarantine measures and personal hygiene measures going forward as well. Thank you very much.
There you have it. The South Korean government has once again urged citizens to refrain from a face-to-face meeting, including small gatherings. We'll bring you more details on the briefing at our upcoming 6 p.m. regular newscast. Until then, goodbye.